Once upon a time, the American dream meant a modest home, a couple of kids, a college education, and a comfortable retirement. But in 2025, that dream comes with a price tag of over $5 million. And for many, it's slipping further out of reach. Today, our host, Adam Wolf, will unpack the numbers behind this modern reality, from $876,000 needed to raise and educate two kids to nearly $1.6 million needed to retire. We're going to ask the vital question: is the American dream still achievable, or has it become a luxury that is reserved for just a few? We'll explore how families can plan for their future, what financial strategies actually work, and whether the dream needs a serious redefinition. If you've ever wondered how to build a life that feels both fulfilling and financially sustainable, this episode is for you. You are listening to Jacksonville's retirement coach. Adam Wolf is a certified financial planner and president of Wolf Retirement Navigation. You can learn more at wolfretirement.com. They're located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. But before we jump into the topic, I got to say hi to the man of the hour, Adam. How are you, sir? Always great to see you.
Great to see you, too. Thank you.
And I hear that you just wrapped up a fundraiser. Talk to me about that, because I know this one's special.
This is special. We hold this every year, and I'm the one who does all the hard work. I climb the mountain and hike the mountain for a couple days, and my clients and friends, they cheer us on, when we do it. And what we do, we raise money for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League, the West Side Center, which is near and dear to our hearts. So our clients do the easy part. They give money. And so we raise the money, and we do an event where we have everybody together for some camaraderie, for community. And then we do some raffles and, there's libations and really good food. So we just had that the other day, and it was wonderful. We had some people really hooping and hollering with the raffle items that they won. So, yeah.
What did they win? What was the favorite item?
One was a Fitbit. One was also the big hit was this picture frame that, you could preload with all your digital photos, which a lot of picture frames do that. But you could also invite people, like your kids, your family members, to load pictures onto this frame where you could, be at home and have this new picture. And that's like a double-edged sword, too. So you could get some wild pictures going. But there was lots of hooping and hollering with the raffle items that were won. So, and we had a great bake sale as well. So we were able to raise some additional funds there. And
amazing.
And we got the number up above 6,000 to go to the West Side Center. And that goes towards the kids' after-school programs, their technology, the Wi-Fi, all the stuff that, and Jax Pal, we have a huge budget at Jax Pal, but this is just for one center, and our clients get to see, it actually assists the kids and, on a real-time basis, which is real cool. So yeah, we had a fun time, and the weather held out, so we did real well there.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And I just saw that the new dates for the 29029 have come out. Which one are you signing up for? I assume you're going back. Are you going back?
Yeah, we have my calves finally felt better after a couple weeks post race.
Notice I didn't ask right away. I waited.
Yes, I go back every year, and this year right now we're all going to be going back to Steamboat Springs in Colorado, which I've never been to. So yeah, there's never an easy mountain, but it's just a different mountain. So we're going to be doing that, and luckily it's not until August of next year. So we're in good shape.
You've got time. Maybe you can convince a few others to go with you.
Yeah, it's if they want. Good luck.
I feel like Colorado would be tough because on top of that you have the elevation factor.
Yeah, this has some elevation to it. The last one I did, it's still tough, don't get me wrong, but it was on the East Coast. Up in Montreal, outside of Montreal, so not as much elevation as going out west, but still tough.
Right. Okay. Well,
just glad it's over with.
Keep me posted. All right. Diving right into the topic. Are we talking about an American dream or nightmare? Because I have to be honest that when I read some of these numbers, I'm not at retirement age yet, and they already scare me. So for people that are at retirement or they're on the cusp of retirement, we're hearing $5 million for the American dream. Is that true?
That's really, in my world, it's really too high.
Okay.
I could see for younger folks, like younger generations, you just need to start saving and put it away as much as possible. Because what happens is, we do help our clients' kids out. We don't, all we do is retirement. So it's a different different mindset of when you're in your accumulation phase of life. That's your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Versus when you're in retirement, getting close to 60s, 70s, that's where you want to preserve instead of accumulate. So, so for folks accumulating money, putting away as much as possible because you have time and you have time to, get that money that just compounds over time. But for the American dream, everybody defines it differently. Is there one big number? Hey, Northeast Florida, compared to Los Angeles or New York City, it's going to be different. And so everybody's different. And, as we get nearing retirement, the questions that a lot of my clients have are, will I be able to retire with the same lifestyle that I currently have? And we answer that question for most people every day.
And it was interesting because that same article was talking about what constitutes the American dream. And actually the number one answer, and it was regardless of age, was that they wanted to be able to retire in comfort. 86% of those asked, regardless of age, that was number one, right after affording quality health care. But I feel like healthcare and retirement, those two sort of go hand in hand because that's a factor in retirement as well, being able to live a healthy retirement, not just retire and get by.
Yeah, the healthy retirement is huge. I mean, it's, we're the youngest and our healthiest now today, versus down the road. So I tell my clients when we plan, if you want to do those bucket list trips, do them earlier rather than later. Don't put it off. Now, financially, if you could do it now versus later, you want to do it now. And I meet with people all the time, and they come in and they're like, hey, I have to, I want to retire at 65, or I want to retire at full retirement age 67 for Social Security. I ask them why. I say, well, we've crunched some numbers, and this is what it looks like. I say, okay, well, let's go back. Let's crunch the numbers again. Let's fine-tune some things. And a lot of times, we are able to save years from working. So instead of going out at 65, maybe it's 63 and a half, maybe it's 62, or maybe it's just knowing you can.
Right.
Because financially the math makes sense, and we crunch the numbers for folks all the time.
We hear this slogan a lot, the go-go years, the slow-go years, and the no-go years. Do you, when you're formulating a plan for someone and you're sitting down having a conversation, are you taking something like that into consideration, that the first part of your retirement, that's going to be your go-go? That's when you're going to go do your travels and you're going to go see the grandkids and you're going to take them on vacation. And then your slow-go years are the years that maybe you're slowing down a little bit. The trips aren't as frequent. You're going to, maybe go once a year instead of twice a year. And then the no-go years where, okay, maybe the grandkids come to you now.
Yeah. It's natural. We all have family members, or we're going through it, where hey, early retirement years. Yeah. We're wanting to travel, and by mid 70s, late 70s, I don't even like going through Atlanta Hartsfield Airport now, let alone in my 70s.
Fair.
So, it's all custom to each individual, what they want to accomplish. And some it's due to, hey, we're retiring early. Like I have some folks who are retiring pre-60, which is wonderful because they're able to financially, but more importantly, mentally, they have things to retire to. It's not just retiring from something, it's having something to retire to.
I like that.
Whether it's hey, it could even be a part-time job. I'll give you a great example. Like my father, he retired from the phone company as a mechanical engineer at age 60. He was take this job and shove it type of thing. He was financially ready. Now, he was one of the most frugal people I've ever met in my life. So he was able to do it at 60. He got so bored after 6 months. He went to culinary school. And he learned how to cook properly. And then he went to go work in a restaurant in culinary services. So he did that for another 9 years. And it was cool because he was able to keep up with all the younger folks. And it was, more exercise for him as well. So some people have that. Some people retire to, hey, I just want to volunteer. I want to see my grandkids more if you have grandkids, or I want to travel and see my family members. I want to go see Europe. I want to do American, the RV trips across the country. It's custom to everybody. So that's how we have to look at it.
And I think that's a great reminder that the American dream is sort of customizable, is that we don't all fit into this one sort of definition of the American dream. I think of my parents retiring, and my mother was the busiest retired woman I ever met. She was part of this club and that club, and she was never home. And my stepfather, on the other hand, he had his man cave in the basement, and he came up for dinner time. that was it. He had put in his time, and he was comfortable in the recliner, and he didn't miss a football game or a baseball game, and that's where he was. But that's what it is, really. It's about creating something that's your definition of success.
Yes, and the definitions of success for everybody are different. But I will say this, especially post-pandemic, right, wrong, or indifferent, if you have the ability health-wise to do something, do it as soon as you can. Mm-hmm. I've had clients lose spouses. I've had people lose family members. I've had, not just my own father, but my stepfather passed away last year. A lot of my clients obviously know that. Mm-hmm. If you don't have the chance to do it, it might be too late. And that's not fear. That's not like,
sure.
That is as soon as you can, if there's an inkling that you can, and then financially feasible, go ahead and do it. Don't delay it. Just get it over with. Start that process.
And that's a great reminder to live life fully. I don't think you have to wait just until retirement for that. If you're able to go do that experience, go do it now, because none of us are promised tomorrow, as much as we hope that we're going to live to the ripe old age of 95 plus in retirement. But one of the things I have to say that stood out to me was the cost of raising two children and sending them to college was around $876,000, which I have two boys and I've got one that's in college. So we're very much living this part. But I also know that a lot of grandparents want to help send their grandchildren to college. How can they do that balance of wanting to help the next generation while they're in retirement without sacrificing the quality of their retirement for themselves?
Yeah, number one is take care of your own retirement first, no matter what else is out there. Because the kids can always get loans and student loans. They can always find funding somehow, but you can't go back to work to fund your retirement. So I say first and foremost, take care of yourself first. When it comes to the grandkids, there's ways to save. There's things that we've done, we've helped our clients with, even though I don't manage 529 plans. I say, hey, this is what I do for my daughter, Isabella. This is the plan. I'll help you set it up. And it's, a 529 plan, that's a tax-free plan for education, whether it's for, high school or pre-college education, college, technical schools, all different kinds of things where you can grow an account over time, tax-free growth, tax-free distributions for qualified education. And now they even have a rule now, if you've had it in place for 15 years, whatever's left over, you can move that into a Roth IRA. So there's ways to save in a smart way for those grandkids. There's also the new Trump accounts, and I don't care what you think about Trump politically, right, wrong, or indifferent. There's new accounts in this latest tax bill that came out that you can put money away, tax deferred, and what you originally put in is tax free, that you can save for children. And then that doesn't mean that if you have a child, there's a couple rules there. We have to talk about the rules.
Sure.
If you have a child, the government's going to throw in $1,000 into this account. Okay. $1,000, not a lot of money, right? But you then can put into $5,000 a year, and that's for any kids that are pre-18 right now. So they didn't have to just be born. So there's ways to grow money tax deferred now under current guidance, and hopefully future guidance. We could take that money at 18 and roll it into an IRA, or even better, roll it in or convert it to a Roth IRA that's tax-free. So in the future, taxes are going to be out of this world. In my opinion, $37 trillion in the federal debt right now. Another $2 trillion, up to $2 trillion a year is being added to that, plus hundreds of trillions of dollars of unfunded liabilities that our government owes. So it's just going to get ugly and ugly to math. Taxes have to go up to pay for all this. So if you can set your grandkids up early in smart ways and do things along the edges every year, it grows and compounds. And imagine 40, 50, 60 years of compound growth, either tax deferred or tax free. That's wonderful.
And I like what you said, that you have to take care of your own retirement first. Bingo. It's like put the oxygen mask on yourself when you're in the airplane, and then you can help the person next to you. And you have to do the same thing when it comes to retirement. You can't help with money you don't have.
Correct. Yeah. And it's gifts at Christmas. I mean, if you want to, instead of giving the child a toy, which they won't see the next year because they'll forget about it, put some money into a plan for them and they won't know. So that's good.
Right. So the one question I have, I guess, to wrap it all up is we hear that $1.6 million is the sweet spot for retirement for the average person. Do you think that that's true? I can't retire until I know I've got $1.6 million saved up and ready to go. Or are there different definitions of the American dream for somebody who doesn't have that?
It's different, and it's not the case. And it depends on your lifestyle. Okay. So depending on your spend in retirement, what you're gonna need on a monthly or annual basis, it has to be met somehow. And it has to be met with Social Security, pensions, which some of my clients still have pensions.
I feel like that's a foreign word to my generation.
Yes, we're the same generation. So yeah, there are no pensions.
Right.
Very few. I mean, military pensions, your state and city and that kind of stuff. It's there, but the corporate pensions are far and few between. Some healthcare providers have them. But then you have your Social Security, pension. What's the difference? That difference has to be made up from your own savings. That's why they came up with that $1.6 million number. Now, that could be across the whole entire country. That could be somebody needing at least 10 to 20 grand a month. Like, it depends on what the spend is. So I have folks all the time come in with a lot less money than that, live a great retirement because you know what? They got all the debt paid off. They got the mortgage paid off. They did all of the updates to the house that they wanted to, or they downsized or right-sized the house to get something that's going to be more efficient. So it comes down to each individual and each individual customized plan. And so I love those articles that talk about the 1.6 million because it's rules of thumb, but it seems like that number keeps going up and up and up every couple of months. And it really boils down to what your unique situation is and what you're trying to accomplish.
It is not a one-size-fits-all shoe. We cannot all look at one person's definition of the American dream and assume that fits our definition of our personal dream.
You got it. Yep, you got it.
All right, last question. How often should somebody be sitting down with their advisor? How often do you like your clients coming in and making sure that their dream is still on track?
Yeah, so I mean, at a minimum on an annual basis, and then we do meet with clients a lot more than that because, hey, even we need to meet quarterly or semi-annually, depending on life, depending on the situation. We see everybody around tax time as too because we do tax preparation for all of our clients. So depending on what kind of relationship you have with your advisor, we're in our clients' face, I think, a lot more than others. I mean, we have our monthly webinars. We have our monthly, invites for lunch and learns, where we're holding topics, and then our client events throughout the year. But we're always a phone call away.
And you have your fundraiser that you do every year. So there's that as well, which is fantastic. So it's proof that the American dream does not have to be a nightmare. There is still a scenario in which your American dream can come true. It may be evolving, but with the right financial strategies, it does not have to be out of reach. Knowledge is your greatest asset. A huge thank you to Adam for sitting down and chatting with me about this topic and helping break down the numbers and offer some practical advice. If you're listening and you're ready to take control over your financial future and build a dream that works for you and your life, be sure to visit wolfretirement.com or, of course, pick up the phone, 904-232-8760, and remember to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Thanks for listening, and remember, dreams don't just happen, they're planned. Adam, any final words?
No, I appreciate you having me on, and I love doing this. And anybody have any questions, you know where to find us.
Investment advisory services offered through Coil Capital LLC, a registered investment advisor. Wolf Retirement Navigation LLC and Coil Capital LLC are not affiliated. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against loss in periods of declining values. Opinions expressed are subject to change without notice and are not intended as investment advice or to predict future performance. Past performance does not guarantee future results. Consult your financial professional before making any investment decision. This information is designed to provide general information on the subjects covered. It is not, however, intended to provide specific legal or tax advice and cannot be used to avoid tax penalties or to promote, market, or recommend any tax plan or arrangement. Please note that Wolf Retirement Navigation LLC and its affiliates do not give legal or tax advice. You are encouraged to consult your tax advisor or attorney. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurer. Any references to protection or benefits or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products. They do not refer in any way to securities or investment advisory products or services. Fixed insurance and annuity product guarantees are subject to the claims paying ability of the issuing company and not offered by Coil Capital LLC. Florida Insurance License Number W016816.